This is the mini lesson for 4.2. Our teaching point is that you will be skilled at modeling the addition of integers on a number line. So we are only going to focus on the left side of this visual summary for today. So we're using a number line to help us understand negatives and positives. The way we're going to start is always at 0. So I'm starting here at 0 and I'm going to this first number. So I'm going over to 5. And then that's where I'm stopping. So I'm going to put a dot right above. Now what I'm adding is 5 negatives. When we move in a negative direction on a number line, we're moving to the left. So from the place where I left off, I'm going 5 spaces, and I see I ended up back at 0. So the answer to 5 plus -5 is 0. When I look at number 2, I'm always starting in at 0, and I go to -6. Okay, that's where I stop, so I put a dot right above, and this is my new starting point. I'm adding 6 positives. Positives moves to the right. So if I go 6 spaces to the right, I end up back at 0. Hopefully what you should notice, and let's just make a little note here because this is number 1 and 2 is an example of anytime I have a number, so a number plus its opposite, that always equals 0. Okay, so a number plus its opposite. So the opposite of 5 is -5. The opposite of -6 is +6. When I add a number and its opposite, it always equals 0. So this is the visual for why that happens. Okay, let's take some other problems now. 3 says I start at 0 and I go over to 8. Okay, put a dot there, and that's where I'm starting now. I'm adding 3 negatives, so I'm moving in a negative direction 1, 2, 3 places. And where did I end up? I ended up at +5. So 8 plus -3 is 5. Number 4, start at 0, I go to -9. From -9, I'm adding 5 positives. Positives move to the right. So I'm moving to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. I ended at -4. Okay, if you're starting to understand the way this moves on a number line, try a few of these on your own and pause the video and then come back and see if you're on the right track. So I'd like you to try 5 on your own first. Then you can resume the video. So I'm starting at 0. I go to -3. So -3 is my new starting point. I'm adding 6 negatives. I'm going -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more places. And where did I end up? -9. Okay, these next couple, they give me the missing piece. I have to find the missing piece. So I'm still going to use my pictures here. So I start at 0 and I go to -4. So from -4, I have to figure out what I'm adding to this, that I'm going to end up back at 0. So I just moved to the right, which is a positive number, and I moved 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So again, this gets back to my additive inverse. A number, -4, and its opposite. Opposite of -4 is +4, always equals 0. So that's an example of a number and its opposite equaling 0. Okay, let's take 7. So I start at 0, I go to +4. So from +4, I have to end up at -2. So I need to know what this distance represents going from 4 to -2. So I move to the left, so I know that's a negative. And how far did I move? I moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a -6. Let's try 8. Start at 0, I go to -3. So from -3, I have to do something where I end up all the way up here at +4. So how did I go from -3 to +4? I moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a positive direction. Number 9, start at 0, I go all the way over to -8. from negative 8, I need to end at negative 1. So going from negative 8 to 1, I moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I moved to the right, so that's a positive 7. And the last one, I'm starting at 0, and I'm going to negative 3. Now from here, I'm moving to end up, though, at negative 7. So what did this movement suggest? It's moving to the left. It's negative. How many places? 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 3 plus negative 4 equals negative 7.